One criticism that the opposition always cites is that while growth is on track, inflation is being regulated, the gains of this growth is not being, it's not really going to people as such in the way it should, because, we do see that salaries are not increasing. There's also concern around, essentials becoming unaffordable. Do you think that the government has a plan when it comes to, making life easier for common people?
It's already easier. So I don't think where you get your perceptions from, because facts you mentioned, inflation is at one of the lowest levels, highly manageable level. And how does it not help the common man when the inflation is low? Does it not help the salaried class when the growth, when we are the fastest growing large economy in the world? Yesterday RBI said they have further improved our estimates for this year at 7.3% growth rate. Does it not help? It has helped. And among the three pillars that Finance Minister, I repeat, I go back to the speech, among the three pillars, she talked about growth, she talked about inclusivity. Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas is nothing but inclusive concept. There is everything in this budget regarding farmers, the youth, women. Every section is benefiting from this growth. And that's why after a long time, there is a sense of happiness. When the GST rates were cut down 6 months ago, 4 months ago, did it not benefit every segment of every section of the society? GST is paid by everybody. The rich man, the poor man, everyone pays GST, and they have been given a huge relief. We have rather surrendered 1.3 lakh crores in GST revenue in this financial year alone. That which means actually in a matter of few months, we have foregone 1.3 lakh crore, because that's directly money in the pockets of the people. Similarly, we have foregone almost 1.25 lakh crore in personal income tax income last year. It's only because we have raised the income tax slab to 12 lakh rupees. So government has kept the common man, the salary class in its mind, the poorer sections in mind. 25 crore people have come out of extreme poverty. This is World Bank statistics. So does it not benefit people? So certainly every section of the society has benefited, and that is our growth strategy going forward.
Mr. Chakravarti, how would you respond to that? The fact that macroeconomic fundamentals are on track, what are your large concerns?
See, I think first we must all agree as a country to stop talking about headline GDP growth. It matters almost nothing to the average Aam Aadmi. There is a very clear divorce between headline GDP and incomes and prices for the common person. And it's not just in India, throughout the world. Number two, simple question. If everything was so good, why are 80 crore people dependent on the government for food? Still, 80 crore Indians depend for food on the government. They should be able to afford their own. So I don't think it is a secret that there are no jobs, not enough jobs in the country. I don't think it's a secret that incomes are growing as fast as prices. I don't think it's a secret that inequality is rising. So when we say there's a divorce between headline GDP, what do we mean? The benefits of headline GDP growth are accruing to a very small section of people. And I'll give you one statistic, just one, because a lot of people hear from the markets, equity, capital markets. There's a lot of talk about how there's been a huge amount of domestic retail money that's come into the equity markets in the last 10 years. I'm quoting SEBI's own report. SEBI came out with an investor survey report of 2025 just 2 weeks ago. 3.7 crore households, only 3.7 crore families have investments in the stock markets, according to SEBI's 2025, less than 10%. The same SEBI report in 2015, what it said? How many households were invested in the stock market? 3.3 crore. What does that tell you? There's actually been no growth in the number of families that invest. Very little growth in the number of families that have the incomes and the affordability to participate in stock markets. But what did we see? The amount of money has gone up 10 times, which means the same people got a lot more money that invested. It's just one statistic to tell you about the inequality. So I think we should stop crowing about headline GDP growth, fastest growing economy, and all of these things, because these things don't matter anymore.
Right.
I talked about poverty. Poverty is not poverty of the rich. Poverty obviously is something that relates to the underprivileged sections of the country. When so many crore people have risen above poverty line, if that is an international finding, not a finding given by a government agency, you have to believe this growth is happening with equity, with access to resources for every section of the society. Secondly, when we reduce GDP, I am repeating myself, does GDP, the GST, lowering of GST, does it not benefit every section? The problem is the Congress party tends to believe some odd statements that India's economy is down in the Trump or down in the dump or whatever. So, whereas the whole world considers India as a bright spot in the economy.
Mr. Chakraborty, are you being overly critical? Because, you know...
From fragile 5 in 2014, today we are 4th largest economy in the world. Has it happened only through headline GDP numbers or some kind of fictional numbers? This is the world accepting India as a rising superpower. We are 4th largest. We will be 3rd largest. You left us at one of the 5 weakest economies. Today we are the 4th strongest economy.
So that tells you... That's also a criticism against the Congress party by the ruling party that, you know, when you call us a dead economy, you're also sort of like, you know, diluting the confidence of investors and also the fact that you don't recognize the merits in whatever reform the government has attempted to do.
First, my friend GVL said India's economy is down in the Trump. I hope it's a Freudian slip. No, I'm just kidding. You're not blaming Trump for our ills, are we? No. See, when it comes to, confidence in investors, I think we as a nation are confident enough to face the truth and facts. We don't need to fool ourselves. We don't need to fool ourselves by saying everything is hunky-dory when it is not. Or we don't need to fool ourselves by saying everything is bad when it is actually good. Okay? So if someone says it's a dead economy based on whatever, that doesn't dent confidence. I mean, are we that meek? Are we that fragile? We're not. Every business can make their own decisions regardless of what the others say, right? And we're confident as a country, as a nation.
It's Rahul Gandhi saying it, right?
That's
so
fine.
The leader of opposition saying it.
No, I'm not saying I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm responding to your point about it dents the confidence. Why should it dent the confidence?
But why
if
should
it's dead, it's dead. If it's not dead, if it's alive, it's alive. That's a debate. You can debate that. Okay? So it doesn't need to dent. I mean, let's not hide behind these nationalistic kind of sentiments of, oh, you can't say anything negative and we're not that weak as a country. We're very, very strong. We can face the truth.
But talking about states, do you think that there is a general concern about the fiscal status of many states? Because every state, be it opposition ruled or BJP ruled, there is a sense that there is a lot that's being spent on welfare. You spoke about Tamil Nadu. There's also Bengal. You know, both of these states are going to polls. Is that a serious concern, the debt that states are in?
I think, and this is a matter of serious discussion, so I don't want to politicize any of these things. On that front, I think as far as our macro and fiscal situation is concerned, first thing, I think 2026 budget will go down in the history of Indian budgets as the first time where we start looking at union and states combined from a fiscal point of view. So it's not enough to just focus on union budget, but it's important to focus on states budget. So it's a very important point that you bring up. Why do I say that? All states combined spend more than the union government today. 40% of union government's revenue, 40% of India's tax revenues come from GST. GST is not decided by the union finance minister on the union budget. It's not decided by one state alone. It's decided by the GST council. Debt. The union government, the finance minister said, we are now going to move to debt to GDP as a metric. Yeah. The union government's debt to GDP is 56%. She's promised to bring it down to 55% next year and go down to 50% in 5 years. It's laudable. It must be appreciated. But the concern is this. What's happening to states? All states combined, their debt is half of the union government's debt. All states combined, their debt to GDP has actually gone up from 22% to 28%, and it's only rising further. So when international ratings agencies, foreign investors look at India, and India's debt to GDP, they don't look at only the union government's debt to GDP. They look at India's debt to GDP.
Okay.
And that is a serious concern. So you're right that if you take states like, say, since you mentioned Tamil Nadu and Punjab and Haryana, their debt levels have gone up 10 times in the last 15 years. And that is a little worrying.
Okay. Sir, let me ask a question on the trade deal because that's the news point.
Let me first respond
yeah, finish it and then tell me when can we expect more clarity and how confident and optimistic are we about the ramifications of it?
No, regarding the debt to GDP ratio, we have among the countries, large economies, we have one of the lowest debt to GDP ratios. Compared to Japan, Japan is the highest, then US, then many other countries. So we are certainly at 55% also. That's a very good metric when you compare it against other large economies of the world. Number two, among the states which are bad performers, I think I have to say this, they are all opposition rule states. Mostly Tamil Nadu, you have, we have never been in power in Tamil Nadu. Right. West Bengal, much more than 30%. Punjab, one of the worst performers. There are many other states, smaller states, but they have other geographic and other economic considerations. But the worst performers are opposition-ruled states. So certainly going forward, if Praveen agrees, I think people of these states, Tamil Nadu and West Bengal, they all must vote for a change of government. They must vote for NDA because NDA means Modi-led governance, Modi-ji-led governance means better economics, better management of the economy.
Like I said, I was going to keep politics out, but it's been dragged in. Haryana and Maharashtra are actually some of the worst states in terms of
Not
debt.
Maharashtra. Maharashtra has a very large GDP.
Okay, so the battle lines are drawn. Let's now wait for the ministers to come and speak more on this. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.